My name is Lora Alho, and I'm from Finland originally. And I've been living in Saudi Arabia for 14 years. And I came originally in 2008 to explore the country. And back then there wasn't any tourism in terms of like tourist visas and trips to come to Saudi, so I chose to come to work here, as it was the way to be able to enter and come and explore the country. For me, it's always been about traveling, so that's always been my passion. Exploring new cultures, new countries, historical places, learning about them, like different ways of life. So it was always a very intriguing place to me. It was like a place of mystery, let's say. We didn't know a lot about Saudi Arabia at that time, and it was actually really hard to find information online before coming. So when I came, I have very little information actually where I'm coming to, but I still took the chance, and I was very curious to actually find out for myself how it really is. I can't say it was an easy thing to do, to adapt to such a different culture from my own. I mean, it is in many ways the polar opposites. So I think from my own personal experiences, what really helped me so much. So I have lived in many different countries. I've been working in many countries before coming to Saudi as a nurse, from Swaziland and South Africa, and I've been living in the States and Scotland and Sweden and Finland, of course. But yeah, I think that definitely like helped a lot. And as a kid living in the US and having a very like multicultural circle of friends, and traveling since I was a kid a lot with my parents. So it's like something that my parents, especially my father, taught me to always go and explore and learn more about new cultures. So I think that definitely helped me a lot in the beginning, and it still does. So when I first came, it was a couple of days. I had just been to Riyadh, and I wanted to immediately go out and go and explore the desert. So I actually I arranged a trip to the red sand dunes. It wasn't easy back then, just figuring out how to actually get there and where is it, because we didn't have Google Maps back then or social media to just click on something and get the directions. So you actually had to like literally go and find it. So we went and found it, and I think that was one of the kind of experiences that were like, wow, this is all here. It's just outside of where we're living. So it was really like such a surprise. Even that one trip that we did on the second day when landing, that it totally changed the perception of the country. It's like it's a very versatile landscape actually. So it's mostly word of mouth. It was, maybe I had heard about a place like Alho, or it was known as, people just used to refer it to as Midai Saleh. So once I arrived here, we just realized that it's not just one site, it's an amazing location full of history and an amazing culture and people who've been here for centuries, decades. I mean, and they've always been so welcoming. So even back in 2008, we felt like everyone was so welcoming and welcome to Alho, and they were surprised, where did we come from? It was 9 nurses and we just showed up with a bus. So of course it was probably something they don't see every day. We went exploring all over Alho for a weekend, and that totally blew my mind, and it was one of the things that inspired me to definitely to travel and explore more, because it was such a realization of all the hidden gems that there actually are in Saudi Arabia. So it was definitely the kind of spark of everything. think what definitely inspired me to start the blog was all the explorations I had been doing. The more I explored in Saudi, the more I realized that there's a lack of this information. I was constantly facing a challenge to find ways of traveling and information as a tourist. So then I thought, well, why complain lack of information when I can just try to do it myself? So then I decided, okay, I'm going to start to write about these things that I've explored and found, and I want to tell people about it. Not only the people who are already in Saudi, to just kind of ease their life and make it easier to, so how to spend a weekend, what could you do in Riyadh, around Riyadh, things to do in Jeddah, for example. And I just wanted to help people to sort of elevate their lives, let's say, in some way, as well as also for the people back home, because they always get faced with the questions when you go back home, and people are always, oh, how is it like? What's Saudi Arabia like? So it's something that you can't just put into one sentence. It's like so that's why I wanted to just start to kind of spread a realistic picture of it. It's not always walking on roses, but it's not all bad either. So I wanted just people to really have a realistic picture of what is it like to live in Saudi, work in Saudi, and travel in Saudi as a woman, as a female traveler, sometimes solo, sometimes in groups. So I think that was definitely the kind of driving factor of getting all that information out and making myself feel like beneficial to others. Why I chose the name Blue Abaya for the blog is I wanted to combine something from my home country, Finland, which is the color blue. For us, it's like the Saudi green color, so it's our national color. It's a symbol of the blue skies and the blue lakes. And then to combine something with my new home country, Saudi, which is the abaya, which is the cultural norm. Back then it was like what we are wearing, and it was like a respect of the local culture and the new customs that I was getting used to. So I wanted to show respect for the both cultures and bring them, the two cultures together, the two countries together in the name. So it was something like, that is how it started. Alho has always been a very special place. I guess anyone who comes to Alho, you feel this magical energy here. So even from that first visit I had from 2008, it left like a mark on me. And then I came many times after that. I came on road trips. I brought my kids. And then when Royal Commission of Alho was established in 2017, and for the first winter Tentura season, I came to here to visit as an influencer, and then that kind of then got me more and more involved in the work side of things, and then it was just a natural transition and such a great opportunity to be a part of that sort of like amazing community that is developing and marketing and telling the story of Allah to the world. Yes, Alho is very busy during the season. It's great to see how many people nowadays know about Alho, and even globally. People are coming from all over the world. It's incredible to see them all over the heritage sites and the old town, and there's a lot of interest from the international media and the regional media as well. So it's very busy during the season, and year-round. It's becoming a year-round destination, and yeah, it's a hectic sometimes, but it's just such an inspiring place. I mean, just the kind of trip from the office to the wherever I'm going on location for filming, for example, is on its own an experience, and it always looks different. So according to the season, according to the time of day, the rocks will look different, the colors are different. It's just like a living museum. And to be able to work in such an environment is just, that's what keeps you inspired and just keeps your energy levels up. I work mostly with media when we have media visiting Alho. So my job is, in a nutshell, to facilitate and help them and support them in telling the story of Alho to the world. I think what these visitors, I've dealt with probably thousands of international people who have traveled all over the world. Photographers, filmmakers, Hollywood stars, just everybody has the same experience. They say this is magical. They feel peace, they feel relaxed, they feel like they do not want to leave. So it's across all these different cultures and peoples and ages and genders. They all have the same experience. So that is definitely what makes Alho special, that it makes everyone feel that same sense of relaxation. I think it's incredible to see so many tourists are coming to Saudi, and even just in Alho, we see them on a daily basis everywhere, and all across Saudi Arabia. We see more and more tourists and interest to come here, and I get questions all the time. Through my blog, they want to come, they want to know how to come, what's the best places to see. And there are just so many incredible regions in Saudi that it's actually a hard question to answer. It's a huge country. There's so much diversity in the landscape and the culture. So you have the southern tribal regions, you have Abha, amazing art in there as well, and the Al-Khat Al-Asiri and Rijal Al-Ma. This is definitely one of the gems. I always direct people to go there too. And then as well as the Red Sea coast, Farsan Islands, and yeah, we're seeing a lot more tourism booming, I think, in Riyadh, especially for the Riyadh season. I think it's really been successful, and it's great to see how it's evolving from how it was when I came and what is it now. It's really incredible and exciting to see. And where is it going to be in 5 years? What keeps me motivated is the feedback that I constantly get from my work. So when people come up to me and say, hey, by the way, I saw one of your posts and it inspired me to actually take on a job, which just happened today in Hijra. And there was a lady who came up to me and she's just explaining how she was offered a job in Alho, and she remembered that's the place where I was posting about. So she said, of course I will go there, because she had already seen that it's a safe place to be and an amazing place to work. So those kind of things, and you know, running into people anywhere in Saudi and they come to thank me about, even Saudis themselves, when they come and they give me the feedback about, thank you for talking about our country and thank you for sending this message out to the world, how we really are. And this is definitely something that motivates me and keeps me going. And I really feel like that's the greatest success, actually, because this is the whole point. This is why I'm writing about Saudi Arabia. I'm not writing about it to promote myself. I'm writing about it because I really want people to know what is it really like here. My favorite places in the kingdom, definitely the number one is Hijra. I mean, it's the place that inspired me the most. The very first time I was there in 2008, until just today when I was there with some guests. And every time I go there and I see it through the eyes of these people seeing it for the first time, I remember that very first time that I saw it, and it's equally special and a unique experience to see it. So that's definitely my favorite. And then I really love the south. So I love Wadi Lajab, Jizan area, Farsan Islands, Haifa. There's so many places in the south that I just keep wanting to go back to. The sources of water, the green scenery, that kind of peaceful serene canyons with water flowing through them. That's definitely a favorite. And then the Red Sea coast, which is 2,000 kilometers long. There's a lot of favorite spots I have along the coast from the north to the south. Umluj, Alwaj, all the Niam areas. You have the Wadi Tayyib Ism, which is amazing, this canyon that opens up to the Red Sea. And that's also actually connected to another Nabataean site, which is related to the one we have here in Alho. And we have so many locations on the Red Sea coast that I can just name one, but I would just say the Red Sea. Yeah, I'm really happy to see this amazing art movement all across Saudi Arabia. In Jeddah, Riyadh, we have the Jaks district. In Alho, we have this Al Jadida, which is the art district which we visited. It's incredible to just walk around and see that kind of enthusiasm and excitement that it creates for everyone looking at these art exhibitions here in Alho. Yeah. This is the second season for Desert X. First of all, you have the place itself is actually a piece of art made by nature. So you have these sandstone canyons which were created over millions of years by water, it's rainwater erosion, sand, wind, and it's carved to these incredible shapes. Wherever you look, it's like a piece of art actually. And then you'll find rock art. When you look a little bit closer, you'll find rock art, you'll find ibex, horses, camels, and it kind of makes you think, well, it's like as if everyone who came here, all these people who came here throughout all these thousands of years, they got inspired by this place. And they wanted to etch those arts into the canyons. And now we have these international artists and Saudi artists, and they are inspired by Allah, and they're creating art that belongs there. And it tells a story of Allah, but also it gives you this kind of all the cultures coming together and this kind of amazing experience that all the visitors feel when they come there. It brings everyone together. So the art is combining all of that into this one amazing place in Desert X Alho. I think the most amazing thing about the Saudi culture is the hospitality, and this is definitely what every single tourist that comes here should experience. And just an example of it is that you go somewhere for a desert picnic and you'll have the next door neighbors come and just invite you to their houses, or like anywhere you go, they'll always invite you to their houses. Have a coffee, have a dinner. One of the most impact on my life, of the changes that have happened recently in Saudi Arabia, is definitely the driving. So being able to just hop in my car and drive off to the desert, or take my kids out and just randomly do stuff. I usually like to do stuff, not very much planning. I just spur of the moment kind of things that kind of just keep you feeling energetic, and hey, let's go to the beach, let's go to the desert, let's go sand sliding. What is the one best thing that happened to me in Saudi Arabia? I think that I came to Saudi Arabia. that was the best thing. That I took the leap and I left all my fears behind, and I didn't listen to these negative comments, and I just kept carrying on. And with the Finnish sisu, which is the word for this kind of never giving up, and going through the hard stone even just to get what you need to get done. What would I miss most about Saudi Arabia if I left Saudi? Definitely the people. Yeah, I would definitely miss the people and the culture and just the way of life. It's more relaxed here, and it definitely suits my own personality more than maybe life back at home. I still love going to visit, but I feel like this is my home now, and this is where I'll be staying. Kannattaa tulla tänne Saudi-Arabiaan ja nähdä kaikki tää upea kulttuuri täällä ja varsinkin täällä Al-Ulassa. Tervetuloa, ja sitten jos tuutte tänne Al-Ulaan, niin tuokaa mulle vähän lakritsia, koska täältä ei saa suomalaista lakua ollenkaan.